afternoon, welcome to EpiTV. This is your 5 p.m. news. A cyclosporiasis outbreak has affected a large consumer population recently in the heart of Toronto and many parts of the United States. Investigations of this disease have been linked to strawberries and raspberries that have been exported from California and Guatemala. Officials have this to say.
Cyclosporiasis is a parasite disease that can be contracted through food and water. It is a food and waterborne illness that cannot be passed through person-to-person contact. It typically originates from tropical climates and in areas with poor filtered water and irrigation. This disease causes an infection of the intestines by the microorganism Cyclospora cayetanensis. Signs and symptoms of this disease include bloating, gas, stomach cramps, nausea, loss of appetite, and significant weight loss. Officials say that the incubation period takes about a week to become infectious. Studies of cyclosporiasis have been conducted to narrow down the cause of this outbreak and have found that there have been many like this before. The first came about between 1996 and 1997, where 3 Canadian businessmen became ill after returning home from a meeting in Houston, Texas. The Ontario Health Department Chief Medical Officer reported to the Texas Department of Health about 3 businessmen who were infected by cyclosporiasis at a private club in Houston, Texas. Reportedly, 28 individuals had attended the meeting and suspicions of others also getting ill besides the 3 initial men. An epidemiologic investigation began on the cyclosporiasis outbreak by doing a cohort study. Of the 27 people who were at the meeting, 16 people met the case definition for cyclosporiasis. Of the food items that were consumed during the meeting, investigators had found that 92% of the people who ate the desserts containing berries were ill, but one person who did not eat the berry dessert also became ill. The berry dessert was the only common exposure found in all interviewed individuals. Similarly, on June 4th, another outbreak of cyclosporiasis occurred in Houston, Texas restaurant. 19 people were interviewed and 10 of them met the case definition of cyclosporiasis. Those who ate the dessert were at a greater risk for becoming ill. All desserts contained fresh strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries. Investigators found that 100% of the people who ate a strawberry became ill, and only one who did not eat a strawberry became ill. Therefore, it was suggested that strawberries were the common source of the cyclosporiasis outbreak in Houston, Texas. In both cases, the strawberries were grown in California. However, the individual distributors were unidentified. At this time, TDH sent out a public prevention measure and suggested that individuals should wash their strawberries. Another case occurring in Toronto, Ontario involved the same strawberries from California.
Now, despite the preventative measures given by health officials to wash your food, outbreaks continue to occur in other states. Epidemiologists say it is an unfortunate event people have been exposed to. However, our team of experts train for these situations year-round and are equipped with the necessary tools to find the main source of this outbreak. It is important for these cases to be investigated so that more information on prevention and control can be drawn out, but for the time, we recommend that people wash their berries and to refrain from purchasing any until further notice. Now, we are going to bring it back to the health officials, where they have more information on cyclosporiasis in the United States.
Although individuals were told to wash strawberries, outbreaks continued to occur. The New York City Department and South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control suggested that the raspberries were the source of the outbreak. A case control study was conducted by the New Jersey Department of Health and Senior Services. Results showed 21 of the 30 case patients had eaten raspberries and 4 of 60 controls had eaten raspberries. Other states agreed with the results from New Jersey, New York, and South Carolina. 725 cases of cyclosporiasis have been recorded, therefore the consumption of raspberries and cyclosporiasis were statistically significant. Based on environmental investigations, 725 cases of cyclosporiasis were identified at 54 events. 21 of 54 events had raspberries that came from Guatemala. There may have been 50 or more farms that were included in the shipment of raspberries. 7 farms used water from wells or river water. However, Cyclospora was not found in the Guatemalan raspberries. It was believed that they became contaminated after they had been sprayed with insecticides and fungicides that were mixed with water that contained microbes that had not been removed in water filtration. It has been suggested that washing fresh fruit had the ability to decrease the chance of the insecticides and fungicides from contamination. Freezing raspberries can be another method to prevent the contamination. However, this outbreak was not the first recorded case. A case of cyclosporiasis was first recorded back in 1979 before the Texas Houston outbreak. The case occurred in the country of Papua New Guinea. The symptoms of cyclosporiasis can last up to a few days to 1 month or sometimes even longer if the infection is not treated. A combination of 2 antibiotics is recommended for the treatment of cyclosporiasis. These include trimethoprim sulfamethoxazole, also known as TMP-SMX. People who have diarrhea are prescribed lots of rest and to drink plenty of fluids. TMP-SMX was first available as a combination pill. The FDA first approved it for only urinary tract infections and a specific case of pneumonia known as PCP. Today, this antimicrobial drug is used widely all over the world. Health Canada states that a cyclosporiasis treatment with antibiotics can clear symptoms within 2 to 3 days. However, for all intestinal symptoms to disappear, the process may take about 7 weeks. Although the presented case talked about specific fruit, Cyclospora can affect different types of vegetation. It's important to remember to wash all your fruit and vegetables, as those few extra seconds can make a difference between a happy and upset stomach. Other tips for consideration. Travelers going to warm countries should remember to avoid food that is washed in local water supplies. Cook your food, eat fruit that can be peeled yourself. Finding the source of the outbreak allows us to prevent and control further outbreaks from occurring. It's important for people to take precautions to ensure that they are not at risk for other health complications. Thank you for listening. This has been your 5 p.m. news on Epi TV.